We all get into real estate for the reasons of thinking long-term generational wealth, getting rich off of owning a piece of America, owning where we're at, owning the properties we're in. But it's more than that.
Hey, friends, welcome back to Your Money, Your Rules, the show where we help people build real legacies through financial literacy, strategic investing, and purpose driven wealth. Now, if you've been hanging out with us for a while, you already know that Thrive isn't just a movement, it's a mindset. It's about using your gifts, your stories, and your opportunities to create impact, not just income. And today's guest embodies all of that at the very highest level. I'm sitting down with someone who lives and breathes service, leadership, and community building. Now, he's a veteran, a real estate developer, and the founder of the Patriot Capital Group, where he creates safe, clean, and secure places for people while helping others build wealth, legacy, and community through collaboration. Now, I asked him about his Mount Everest once, and that is to build the most trusted, veteran driven real estate ecosystem in America, where collaboration replaces competition, ownership replaces dependency, and storytelling becomes the bridge between education and impact. So, friends, today I'd like to welcome the one and only Adam Catledge.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're so excited because your name gets thrown a lot in the community, and that's because you're pouring so much into the community. Education, helping newbies get their first deal, and then also collaborating with so many people. So we are so blessed to have you here today, Adam.
Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we get into like the strategies, right, the systems, and talking about co-living, which you are where you're at right now, can you take us back for a moment? Was there like a single moment, whether that's a conversation, like a mission, or maybe a memory, when you realized that real estate is bigger than what people talk about? This is about really creating places where people feel safe, supported, and really be able to rebuild their lives.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and that's where like it was a for me it was 3 deals into a deal that I had that was a really hit, and I get chill bumps thinking about it. And so we all get into real estate for the reasons of thinking long term generational wealth, getting rich off of owning a piece of America, owning where we're at, owning the properties we're in. But it's more than that. It's about helping people along the way and being compassionate, being impactful, and just being action driven. And so when when I learned about the creative finance space, it was the first couple of deals were about me rather than being about the people that I could help along the way. And so we helped out this veteran. He is in Beaufort, South Carolina, and he was going into foreclosure. He was losing his property, and we were able to take over his property subject to the existing mortgage, as we all know, sub two. And we were able to see on as we were making payments for this guy, his credit score was going up and up and up. And then eventually, 2 years later, we sold the property and exited, and he was able to keep his VA entitlement. He didn't lose it to foreclosure. And so at that point, it was for me that it was came back full circle that, it's not just about what money goes in my pocketbook. It's what goes into the community and that community aspect of how we can help people through real estate. And so that was the aha moment for me that, hey, there's something here that, there's nothing wrong with making money while helping people at the same time, because it takes money to help people.
Yeah, amazing. That is awesome. Now, when that moment hit you, right? Realize that, you know what? Like, yeah, the income is great, but then having the opportunity to actually help others,
Hmm.
kind of like lifted you up even more. And like now you have a bigger purpose, bigger than just like generational wealth for your family, but it's more of like making an impact in society, right?
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was, and the other thing, we didn't just help that veteran out. We helped the community out because we made it a sober living home as well. So it was two different things. It was two different buckets of people that we were able to help out. We were able to help out the seller. We were able to help out a community that has an issue with drugs and alcohol, community members, and needed a safe and secure place to stay. And so it was just it was that opportunity and deal alone touched so many different people.
Yeah, yeah, man. Now you've entered this space of like helping the underserved, right? Um, Most people would feel just inspired and move on usually, but you actually did something and really switched, your strategy to helping, the underserved as well.
Yeah.
What was like the very first step that you took to live out that mission long before you had a team, an ecosystem, or even like a clear business model? Like, okay, this is what we got to do.
Um, Really, it was, for me, it was, I saw the benefit of helping veterans out when they were in foreclosure and inside their home because you could potentially lose your VA entitlement and not ever be able to get another VA loan again. And so I saw the benefit in that aspect of it, but then it became more and more as we did sober living homes. We turned one an Airbnb, a failed Airbnb, into a sober living home in Charlotte. We helped another couple out of foreclosure down in Florida and turned it into a sober living home. And so, that's where it was like, it really started clicking that this is where you can be compassionate about how investing, but it goes back to, it's not a nonprofit. We still have to make a return on our investment, but we can do it through impact.
Man, man. Now, impact is huge, right? And doing this in like single family, obviously it has impact, but you've also switched into multifamily space as well,
hmm
right?
Yeah, we just closed. Me and Pace Morby just partnered on a deal down in New Orleans. We closed last week, and so that deal was a 20. Yep, I'm so excited. My first multifamily deal, and so I wanted to partner with Pace on it to leverage his experience. But what it really is for that property there is it gives us the ability to, one, serve the underserved, the Section 8 community, but also help the single individuals with some affordability as well, because we're going to convert 9 of those 24 units over to co-living. So we're going to be able to blend the co-living space and multifamily space together in one building, so that we're not, because I do say that sometimes there's issues with converting too many single family homes into the co-living model, because now you're solving one problem but creating another by taking away supply from another group of people. So, so I've really found a passion in that inside of the multifamily space, because you can really increase your numbers as well, on your revenue, but also you're helping the community out by providing additional affordable housing options for people.
Yeah. So how does like break it down in simple terms? Like how do you convert a unit that might have like what, three bedrooms
Yeah, so two
actually work?
bedrooms. Simple way is add a wall in the living room. You're taking the living room out. That's all we're doing. We're taking two bedrooms and making them three bedrooms. So
That's
nothing
all.
crazy. We're not doing like slumlord over here of making 50-foot or 50 square feet rooms or anything. We're taking nice sized living rooms and turn them into bedrooms. And people that are just wanted a safe and secure place to stay, that's what they need. And they don't want to sleep on the streets. They don't want to sleep in shelters. They want to be able to provide for themselves. And this is an opportunity for people that can't afford to pay for an apartment by themselves.
Yeah.
And so, now we've got, in one unit we'll have 3 people stay together. It's no different than if a single family home's converted and you have 7 people live together. It's just now you got it across an apartment complex rather than a single family house.
Man, I love that. I love that. Now, everything that you're doing is, you're collaborating. You mentioned that you're working with Pace on this project,
Mhm.
and you keep saying collaboration over competition all the time, from the different calls we were at, the Zoom calls that we're in, right? So it's not just your tagline. You've actually built into your deals, your underwriting, and even your storytelling. Now, for someone listening who wants to build wealth with others, whether that's partners, veterans, local communities, like what does collaboration really look like in your world? And how can you start building that kind of ecosystem around you?
Yeah, so the collaboration piece, there's so many different components to it. You know, you can be a lender and collaborate, you can be a partner and collaborate. And so I've really found the value in working with other people because it's funner doing it with others rather than doing it by yourself. And then you get to see people grow along the way because, you know, I don't want to keep them all to myself. I want them to go out and build their own build their own dream and build their, you know, their own portfolio, but come in and actually learn from leaders within inside the community, action takers, and who are doing it the right way rather than going out there and trying to reinvent the wheel. And so I've
Mhm.
learned from not reinventing the wheel, and now I just want to pass it, give it back to the community. The same thing of come in, leverage what I've learned, leverage what my other partners have learned, and let's work together on growing our portfolio together, but also your individual portfolio. And because, you know, some people want to partner on everything. Some people want to partner on just single family homes, or somebody who just might want to partner on two or three co-living properties to get that passive income coming in. And then they can just sit back and retire because they've got what they need for the rest of their life. And they just want a supplemental um, income coming in to increase their lifestyle and move on to, you know, their next chapter of their life and be comfortable. And so it really depends on what the person needs in their life and what they want, rather than me pitching saying, oh, this is what you need to do, this is what you have to do in regards to being a partner with me. No, it's let's collide. That's what the whole point of collaboration is.
Yeah.
It's a communication between both parties, and it has to work. You have to both be in sync with the same goal in mind if you want to collaborate.
Yeah, love that. Especially like, if you're new and don't even know where to start, right? Like really figure out what exactly do you want if jumping into a partnership. Is it like do you want to jump in hands on and really learn the entire process, or are is your W2 demanding, and really the way to collaborate is really helping fund the deals, right? So
Mhm.
take a quick look at your internal world and see how you can collaborate. That's
Yeah,
great.
so I mean, the most immediate collaboration that we have right now is our fractional club that we've just kicked off, the Patriot Capital Club, and so we're going to be collaborating on lending opportunities because I see that as a great way to get started, as
Yeah.
long as you're doing it correctly. And so we're going to be lending together, pooling our resources together, and it's a great way for somebody that has $10,000 to want to come into a club that and can get to lend on deals that are $100,000, $200,000 that they would typically not have access to if they just are a small lender. They would be stuck on the transactional lending, they'd be stuck on the EMD funding. And where's the growth and where's the education in that when you can go in and come join a community like mine, a fractional community, and really earn and learn at the same time? And it is a great way to also see different types of asset classes, because sometimes with our resources that we have as individually really can't help us out too much in where we want to go. But if we collaborate together, pool our resources together, then we can start to see things that we would typically not have access to. And so we just kicked that off last night, our fractional club. And so we'd love to have people come on and join and collaborate with us.
That's awesome. So when's your next call for this fractional club?
It'll be in a few days if we don't close, close the club by then. You know, we always want to try to close it as soon as possible with it being raised. But we will be having our call on Friday. What day is that? Let me see.
November 22nd, I believe.
November 22nd, and then but I also
21st. Sorry.
Yep. And then the great thing about that club is it's going to allow you to get an inside look to my business. And
Mhm.
so you're going to have access to me, you're going to have access to my team, and it's going to allow you to understand how to do this properly rather than sit there in the Zoom wondering if you're doing it properly. You're going to get access to the title companies, seeing how that's operating, get access to the transaction coordinators, every is fully transparent because you are a member of the club, and that's what I love about fractional.
Yeah, I love that. Your fractional, I think I heard earlier, minimum is $10,000 to
Yep.
invest, right? Okay.
Yep, 10,000 is the minimum. It's no longer. It used to be $5,000 but their minimum now on fractional is $10,000.
Okay. All right. And it's a great way to like learn and earn at the same time because you're opening up that or whoever invests in that fractional will be in your ecosystem and will learn
Hmm.
directly from you, right?
Yeah, and people, my team's making fun of me because we came up with the slogan "Learn and Earn," and in my country accent, "Learn and Earn, Ernie." You know. So yeah, so you might get a laughter at some point. You get what you get with me. So
I know. That's why I love chatting with you every now and then. Now, so um, true to your money, your rules, I like to make it actionable, right? So obviously,
Mhm.
one action is to go check out your fractional. How do they check that out? Like, do you have a direct link, a site,
Yeah,
or
so they can go to my Instagram, Adam Catledge. They can check the link to the fractional community is inside my bio, and then you can post it on we'll post it in the show notes, I
of
guess,
course?
of that, and then on my Instagram is the best place to get the latest update of what I'm working.
That's awesome. Now, if there was, if someone maybe um, someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and wants to get into co-living and multifamily and do it the right way by having impact in society and the community, I do want to make it actionable. So like what is the first step you would recommend people take if they want to follow in your footsteps and jump into co-living and multifamily?
If I would take a step back and I would if what they should do is sit down and really feel where they want to be in the next year and 2 years. Because if you cannot look and create your North Star, then how can you build a path to that goal? And so until you do that, now it may change. It's going to change. I promise you it's going to change. But if you don't know where to start and where you want to go, how are you going to be able to go find the resources to help you get there? Because I could say, "Hey, go watch this Zoom or go do this. Go, put your money here." But until you know what you want and know where you and your family want to go, then how can I help you get there? And so the first thing someone should do is get pen to paper and just visualize where you want to be and write it out. Write it on a piece of paper and look at it and set your intentions based off of that piece of paper of where you're going to go. And and then start re-engineering it and say, okay, well, I need to do this. I need to go learn this piece underwriting first. I need to go do this first because real estate's not get rich quick. It's a systematic process to long-term generational wealth. Now there are ways to make the active income along the way. I do it by paying myself acquisition fees on properties that I buy, but it is really if you can be intentional with what you're doing, you can move so much faster than people that are just throwing stuff up on the wall and seeing what sticks. And so, you don't have to and to put the blinders on and really say, I'm going to focus on this while there are people over here doing this because it will be really beneficial for you in 90 to 80 days. I promise you, you will not
Mm,
recognize what you accomplish if you actually do that.
amazing, amazing. Now, Adam, thank you. Your heart, your mission, your leadership, it's so powerful. And I know you mentioned it earlier, but it's always great to repeat it. If people listening are thinking, where can I find Adam? How do I get involved? Where can people connect with you, learn from you, submit deals, or just follow the work you're doing?
Yeah, so two things. I would say one, go to my website, adamcatledge.com. It's just like here on the screen and my name. and there's a form. Contact me up there and there's a form you can fill out and then I can send you links to the Zooms that I do and then resources that I have and how to submit deals to us if you want to be a bird dog. And if you want to lend deal, if you want to partner with me on deals and collaborate, because I'm really big on collaboration. And then also at like nonstop updates is go to my Instagram, Adam Catledge, and see what we've got going on. I try to post something daily on there. Some days I'm not as active, some days I am, but I try to be consistent on there because I really truly believe in sharing what's out there. Right. And it's selfish of me to keep what's up here and not share it with the community.
Yeah, you are such a go-giver, truly, Adam. Thank you so much. Now that's truly perfect. And I'll have those links, your website, your Instagram in the show notes as well. And if you're listening and you want to build wealth in a way that's both profitable and purpose driven, that's exactly what we do inside the Thrive movement. Whether you're exploring infinite banking, private lending, or building long term capital through strategic real estate, we help you become your own source of funding so you can invest with confidence and make decisions that align with your mission. If you're curious, if you're ready, or even you're just, an impact driven minded person like Adam, check out thrivebankingstrategy.com and we can help you map out your next steps. Now, Adam, thank you so much for being here. That was such an insightful episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And to everyone listening, take control, build legacy, and remember your money, your